It's hard to believe, but Animal Crossing New Horizons turns 1 this week. And some of you out there are probably asking, is it too late for new players to get in on all the fun? The short answer, absolutely not. In fact, it's actually a great time to get started. And in today's video, I'll give you 5 reasons why it's not too late to start Animal Crossing New Horizons. People of the internet, RetroRaconteur here. If we're meeting for the first time, I'm just a dad who loves games and the stories they tell. We post videos every week here on YouTube and would love to have you as part of our growing community here. In fact, I know a lot of the loyal viewers are big Animal Crossing players, so I need to hear from you guys as well. Make sure you let me know down in the comments what are some reasons that folks should start playing Animal Crossing now, even if they've never played before. As for my 5 reasons, let's dive in. Number 1, events from 2020 will return. So one of the biggest reasons that now is still a great time to get started in Animal Crossing is the fact that special events repeat themselves. That's right, anything you heard about your friends enjoying throughout Animal Crossing in 2020 will be back in 2021. And to be honest with you, you could actually go back and relive 2020 if you wanted to, at least within Animal Crossing. Hopefully not in the real world. In fact, it's always been this way in Animal Crossing games. If you're relatively new to the series or looking to jump in for the first time, then you may have a few misconceptions as to how the game's calendar and time system work. You might be under the impression the game requires an internet connection and has special events only made possible through updates made from Nintendo, but that's only partly true. To understand this, we'll need to do a little time traveling ourselves and go back to when Animal Crossing got its start, which was on the Nintendo GameCube. There, Animal Crossing had a real-world day and night time system. There was no online support for Animal Crossing on the GameCube, so how did Nintendo have this ongoing world that felt like things were changing from day to day and also have special events around holidays and character birthdays? It's actually quite simple and rather brilliant for its time. The game simply looked at the GameCube's internal clock. For example, when the GameCube's internal clock was set to October 31st, then Animal Crossing would match that in-game, Halloween festivities included. It didn't take long for players to realize you could essentially time travel within Animal Crossing to any day and any time by changing your system's internal clock. Now, personally, I don't really like playing with time travel. I prefer to kind of experience the game organically and naturally, but there are plenty of folks out there who do time travel. So if there's a specific event you really want to see in New Horizons, then you can certainly do that by changing the Switch's internal clock. There are some weird issues that can happen with items when you're traveling back and forth in time, so just make sure you read up on it in more detail before trying it, especially if you have any turnips you're waiting to sell. But whether you're a time traveler or not, if you're thinking you'd miss all the holidays and festivities that took place in 2020 in New Horizons, well, you're in luck because those events will happen again this year in 2020. Fishing tournaments, bug-offs, Halloween, Toy Day, and more will all happen again. But, and here's where the differences come in, you will need to make sure you update the game first to experience everything. You see, that's where things with New Horizons start to differ a bit from the way they originally were on the GameCube. With the GameCube, all these recurring events were pre-programmed into the game itself and then triggered by the system's internal clock. New Horizons was a little different in that it shipped with some events and special days, but Nintendo has issued frequent online updates to add even more to the game. At the time of this recording, they're on version 1.8. You can see everything they've added along the way by looking through the Animal Crossing wiki, which I will link to down in the description. There are some out there who believe Nintendo took this new approach to prevent people from being able to time travel instantly and experience all of the special holidays in the game. But now that we've finished a full calendar year with all those updates, you can actually go back and jump to any of those or experience them again this year. Nintendo is also planning to add even more throughout the year, but more on that later. What's great about the updates overall is that they aren't special one-time events that will never come back. Anything that's been added so far you can experience right away by either waiting to the correct day and time or time travel. Of course, this would require you to update your game to the latest version. Some of the updates they've done along the way included adding sea creatures, deep sea diving, new vendors, special events, and more. The most recent update added Mario-themed items to the game, and then right around the corner we've got Hello Kitty-themed items coming to Animal Crossing as well. So technically online isn't required to play the game, but you'll probably want to connect at least one time to make sure you get those updates, which all to this point have been free. Now, if you guys are completely new to Animal Crossing or thinking about getting started, let me know what questions you have down in the comments below. I have a full playlist for beginners I'll link to here at the end of the video. But let's get on to number 2 now, which is more updates. Now, just to continue our conversation with updates, Nintendo apparently isn't done. I'm recording this video just a few days before the 1-year anniversary of New Horizons release, and it still seems Nintendo is planning to release regular content updates throughout this year. And again, so far they've all been in the form of free updates. The most recent update came on February 25th. This update brought new Mario-themed items to the game that were added to the Nook shopping app later on March 1st. And by the time you see this video, it is very possible that the Sanrio crossover featuring Hello Kitty-themed items has already taken place as well. With Animal Crossing being a bestseller for Nintendo, I think it's highly likely that they'll continue to work keeping the game updated and fresh throughout 2021. Who knows if the updates will be as frequent or significant, but there are definitely some fan-favorite characters and locations who still haven't been added to the game. Number 3, a huge and still growing player base. Another reason why now, here, 2021 is still a great time to jump into the game is its ever-growing player base. Animal Crossing New Horizons continues to be a top seller even a full year after its initial release. And while you can enjoy New Horizons completely on your own, having fellow players to visit and trade items with can make the experience even better. You'll also be able to make money faster by gathering non-native fruits from other islands and bringing them back to plant, and eventually sell, on your own island. Just make sure you ask for permission before you start taking anything from someone else's island though, or else you might get kicked out. There are also folks out there who have devised special co-op games to play when visiting each other, such as sumo wrestling or hide and seek, and many, many more. Nintendo also added in the Dream Suite, which is a feature where you can visit someone's island even without them being online at the time. It's a little more of a contained experience and you don't have the same options as if you were visiting their island in real time, but it's still a great way to check out a friend's island and maybe get some design inspiration. Now, quick important note here, to visit a friend's island or have a friend visit you, it does require a Nintendo Online account, which is a paid account at this point. So in order to be able to experience that, you would have to be a Nintendo Online member. And at number 4, we have design ideas. So many design ideas, guys. Because of the fact that the game has been out for nearly a full calendar year, there are plenty of places to look for tips, advice, and inspiration, like hopefully this channel. There are a number of fantastic YouTube channels, subreddits, and Discords dedicated to Animal Crossing design ideas. In my opinion, this is where Animal Crossing shines the brightest. I am constantly amazed by this community and their level of creativity when it comes to custom designs, home layouts, island layouts, and decorations. Thanks to the addition of terraforming and New Horizons, you can truly shape your island as you see fit. To be honest, designing special areas of my island around different themes has been one of my favorite things to do in New Horizons. I got the game back at launch and still haven't even put much time into decorating my house because I've spent so much time and energy worried about the overall design of my island instead. If you care more about your home though, that's also an enjoyable endeavor with plenty of design inspiration available online. Number 5 on our list, we have longevity. You see, Animal Crossing as a series has always had this special sense of timelessness to it. There are plenty of people out there, even today, who still check in on their old GameCube islands or with Animal Crossing Wild World or New Leaf. Some people check all 3 of them. If the game clicks with you in the right way, then it could be one of those games where you play occasionally off and on for years to come. Keep in mind, it's a game that never forces you or hurries you on to another challenge or checkpoint. You can enjoy it at your own pace and focus on tasks that matter to you. You can go after the golden fishing rod by trying to catch all the fish. You can work to complete your museum. You can try and breed every flower in the game. Or you can simply focus on making your home the coziest spot imaginable. It's all up to you, and New Horizons will let you play how you want to play. If you guys have any questions at all about getting started with Animal Crossing, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out that beginner playlist, which you should see now on the right side of your screen. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.